Hi, this is Ian Westerman. I'm the head pro at EssentialTennis.com, where it's my mission to bring passionate instruction to passionate tennis players, just like you. Welcome to episode number 40 of Ask Ian. Today we're going to be answering a question from YouTube from John Murray, who wrote to me and said, "My son is 12 and wants to get back into tennis. Financially, however, it doesn't make sense. He played for about 12 months when he was 10 and was pretty good. He also has a great tennis name, Andy Murray. So the question is, how do I make this work with limited means and or money? Any suggestions?" Well, there's really, truly, there's not an easy answer to this, John. Somebody is going to have to decide, to go the extra mile here, figuratively, to make ends meet a little bit, to help Andy be able to realize his goals and his dreams on the tennis court, reasonably speaking. And I kind of throw that in there because I never quite know with questions like this what the expectations, maybe the thought expectations are for results on the court, either from the parent or from the child. I think it's really, really important to have a healthy realization of what it really takes to be a professional tennis player. And I have no idea if maybe you have aspirations of this when you ask, how do we make this work? Maybe your son has aspirations of that, I don't know. But at the end of the day, tennis is not cheap. It's not the most expensive sport ever, but it's definitely not inexpensive either. Somebody is going to have to make some kind of sacrifices to make some kind of efforts to help Andy progress consistently and as quickly as is reasonably possible. To make that happen, something financially is going to happen. And, for me, I started when I was 10 or 11, around, similar age to Andy. And my family at the time definitely did not have extra money for tennis. It was just the way it was. And so I actually took on, once I got to a certain age where I could do this, I had several different paper routes. I got some help from my grandparents, which was greatly appreciated. And I paid for a lot of my own instruction up until I got to college, and I got to that point in my competitive career. So for me, it was just like, all right, what do I have to do? Lessons are this much once per week, and this clinic is this much once per week. What is it do I have to do in order to make that work financially? How much maybe help do I need from a grandparent or whoever in order to make that work? And if your son is passionate enough about it, and he's really driven and motivated, absolutely have him chip in as well any way that he possibly can. And there are opportunities for that. Maybe he could help out at your local tennis club, just doing odd jobs and maintenance and helping clean the facilities, and maybe assisting with little kid lessons, the little 4 or 5-year-old group lessons, whatever. There are ways for him to kind of get his foot in the door and become part of the tennis community and kind of come at it from different angles. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you need a huge bank account in order to have him have a great tennis career. Huge bank account always helps, but it's not necessary. Now, when I say great tennis career, using myself as an example, starting relatively late for somebody who makes tennis a career. 10, 11 is not super early. Most players who play college tennis and then go on to be part of tennis for the rest of their life usually start earlier than that. I'm not complaining, just saying it's still possible at that age to still have a lifelong love of the game. And tennis it's a sport for a lifetime, and one that your son can learn from and grow in and have his character built through his experiences in competition and trial and error and disappointment and fair play and sportsmanship and all this. There's so many different lessons that he can learn from that. It doesn't necessarily need to be the fact that he plays at a D1 college and has travels the world and plays professional tournaments. It's important to understand that only 70 male ATP professional players in the world actually come out ahead on being a professional tennis player. 70 players in the entire world. If you're ranked 70 or below, you are just breaking even or you're losing money on the travel and coaching and physical training and therapy and tournament fees and traveling and everything else. The chances, even starting at 4 years old with $10 million in the bank, the chances of any given person, any given human being making it as a professional tennis player are unbelievably small. So I just put that out there to hopefully give you a little bit of a dose of realism and to help you set good, healthy expectations for your son. It's important for you and it's important for him as well. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of perspective and a little bit of motivation. I hope that he finds some way to become involved again in the tennis community in your area. If there's any way that I can help, definitely let me know. And I'd be thrilled to find out down the road that Andy is in fact competing and playing as frequently as possible and finding a way to make it happen. So best of luck to you, best wishes. If you've tuned in today and you've enjoyed this video, do me a favor and click like, especially if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. Question of the day, essential question of the day here, I don't know what's going on here. What is the most you ever sacrificed to be able to play tennis? Tennis, in my experience, is a sport somewhat unique in that I don't know, there's something about tennis players. There's so many players out there who have just a strong, strong passion for the game. And I've heard a lot of incredible stories about tennis helping people come out of, a parent passing away or having cancer and using it as like a motivation or inspiration to fight, that sort of thing. I've heard some incredible stories. So what is the most you've ever personally sacrificed? Maybe, somebody like Andy getting a job when he's a young teenager in order to pay for his lessons. That might be something that he has to do. What's something that you've sacrificed in order to be on the tennis court and get your tennis fix? Let me know in the comments down below. Really curious to hear the answers to that one. Quite honestly, I'd kind of like to get to know those of you that are watching a little bit better. I'm curious to see what kind of stories there are out there. So let me know what that is down below. Also, any other general comments or questions, leave those down below. Make sure to subscribe to the Essential Tennis YouTube channel so you don't miss out on future episodes of Ask Ian. And with that, I will sign off for today. Thank you for watching. Take care and good luck with your tennis.